The thin stack of paper landed on the desk in front of me with a whisper. Probability of paternity, 0%. The conclusion was stark, printed in uncompromising black and white. The tested individuals show multiple genetic marker mismatches, excluding a biological parent-child relationship. You're not a Hawthorne. I am. His voice was low, vibrating with a tension I could almost taste. You took my life, my family, and my brother. Brother. Julian Hawthorne. A scoff threatened to escape my throat. Brother felt like the wrong word. Warden, maybe. Guardian with a side of relentless, micromanaging authority. 2 hours earlier, I'd made my mandatory check-in. The gym's Wi-Fi was spotty, the video freezing for a couple of seconds. On the screen, Julian was a study in controlled elegance. A tailored suit without a single crease, gold-framed glasses perched on the bridge of a patrician nose, a few dark strands of hair falling across his forehead. Long fingers turned a page in a report. He radiated an aura of disciplined, untouchable competence. The ultimate corporate statue. I held the phone away, my script ready. The school. Basketball. No bars, no street racing, no skipped classes. Definitely not staying out all night. I offered a grin that felt too wide. Doing all right, right? He turned another page, his voice a calm, measured baritone. It sounds commendable. Sounds being the operative word. Bars were avoided, but gaming cafes were fair game. I hadn't raced cars, but my motorcycle mileage told a different story. I came home every night, though the definition of home had stretched to include my own brand of nocturnal festivities. If obedience was a currency, I'd have made the Forbes list for most compliant. Sweat traced a hot path from my hairline, stinging as it seeped into my eye. I blinked, irritated, and grabbed the hem of my tank top to wipe my face. The fabric slid over skin that flushed too easily under the sun. A pale canvas that turned pink and then settled back to a stubborn pallor. The motion exposed a strip of lean stomach, the flexible line of a waist still holding the unthinking grace of late adolescence. The man on the screen finally looked up from his documents. His fingers went to his collar, loosening the tie a precise fraction. Eli, comport yourself. I rolled my eyes. Control freak. Before he could launch into a lecture, I raised the phone, squinting at the screen. What's that? You're breaking up. Terrible signal here. Click. Under normal circumstances, that kind of defiance would have consequences. Specific, stinging consequences. But geography was my temporary shield. Julian was approximately 6,000 miles away. Not even the most determined enforcer could bridge that gap in an afternoon. 2 hours later, Caleb was in my dorm room with the DNA report. Honestly, when the truth landed, relief was my first, overwhelming reaction. I grabbed his hand, pumping it with enthusiasm. Man, you have no idea how glad I am to see you. Caleb's face froze, his prepared speech dying on his lips. You what? I was already digging in my backpack. I pulled out a binder, thick and well-worn, and thrust it into his confused hands. What is this? The Hawthorne House Rules. 200 pages. 10 categories. 151 subclauses. Covering moral development, behavioral standards, academic strategy, social protocol, familial duty, and a detailed system of punitive measures and rewards. Caleb knew nothing of Julian's particular brand of structured obsession. I gave him a look heavy with unshared history. You'll need to follow them closely. Caleb wanted to be this brother? This subordinate? Perfect. Life, it seemed, was a giant, suffocating estate. And now a hole had appeared in the perimeter wall. Just my size. The fact that Caleb could waltz in here with that report meant the Hawthorns already knew. They'd let him find me. This was the message, clear as day. The real heir is here. The stand-in should know when to exit stage left. I wasn't stupid. I made myself scarce. As for Julian, goodbye and good luck. I was an eagle, ready to soar into boundless freedom. My flight of freedom lasted 10 hours, 25 minutes and 17 seconds. Then Julian Hawthorne personally retrieved me. The main house was in full session. Caleb, our perpetually absent mother, who viewed motherhood as a transactional inconvenience. Old Mr. Hawthorne. And Julian, who was supposed to be 6,000 miles away. Mr. Hawthorne's cane, its handlesome dark, polished wood inlaid with what looked like jade, tapped a rhythm on the parquet floor. Caleb is a Hawthorne. He will not live like a stranger. He moves into the townhouse with Julian immediately. He will learn and he will apply himself. The old man's gaze, sharp and assessing, slid to me. As for Eli, he is also a child of this house. We do not turn away those we have raised. Raised was a generous term. Fed was more accurate. And just the bare minimum at that. The old man was shrewd and traditional. The moment that report surfaced, every stock portfolio, trust fund, and property deed in my name had likely already been transferred. The meal ticket was being revoked. Our mother had tears in her eyes as she embraced Caleb, a performance of long-lost connection. She shot me a wounded look. No wonder you were always against me. You were never really mine. The audacity was breathtaking. When had she ever been in my corner? A single bottle fed? A diaper changed? A parent-teacher conference attended? She didn't even know my major. What made her think aligning with her was a winning strategy against Julian? Her stunning lack of intellect? Now, of course, she was someone else's problem. Finally, the curtain fell. Julian led Caleb and me out. He was the picture of calm detachment, his suit jacket draped over his arm. Aside from a few faint wrinkles on the expensive fabric, you'd never guess he'd flown across the country on a moment's notice. He was casually adjusting his wristwatch, engaging Caleb in low, pleasant conversation. His voice was warm, inviting confidence. It was a masterclass in charismatic authority. Show off. I folded myself into the passenger seat, making my body as small as possible, hoping to escape Julian's peripheral vision. I wished the drive would last forever. I fantasized about carjackers. Maybe they'd take me. A kidnapping sounded like a vacation. I trailed behind Julian into the townhouse like a scolded puppy, immediately veering toward the shadows. Julian handed his jacket to the house manager. Show Caleb to the south guest room on the second floor. Caleb was clutching my binder of rules like a life preserver. He looked at Julian, a mix of nerves and awe in his eyes. Julian, can I call you that? I'll memorize every rule. Promise. Julian's gaze dropped to the binder. He reached over and plucked it from Caleb's grasp. That isn't necessary. Get settled in. The hypocrisy was breathtaking. Of course, I wasn't blood. After Caleb followed the manager upstairs, a long, quiet moment stretched. Then, slowly, Julian turned. The light glinted off his glasses as he reached up, his long fingers working at the knot of his tie. He pulled the strip of silk loose with deliberate care. As for you, Elijah, a full-body shiver racked me. It was over. The last time Julian had used my full name, I was 16 and had briefly, stupidly, attempted a relationship. He'd methodically rolled up his shirt sleeves, the muscles in his forearms corded and defined. He'd looked utterly composed, a man about to review a budget, not administer correction. The polished wood of the ruler connected. The sharp, burning sensation bloomed across skin that had no business being treated this way. Heat rushed to my face, a cocktail of pain and profound humiliation. What 18-year-old got taken over his brother's knee? I bit down on the inside of my cheek, swallowing any sound. The cool edge of the ruler traced a line over the punished flesh, as if considering the next angle of attack. Eli, Julian's voice was deceptively soft. Ask me properly to stop. Then I will. I squeezed my eyes shut, defiance a hard knot in my throat. Why should I? You're not my brother. You have no right. I can take it. A low, humorless chuckle was my only. Panic surged. The bravado evaporated. Wait, Julian. Stop. I'm sorry. Please, now you remember who I am? I thought I had no right. You have every right. Julian had been diagnosed with a pronounced empathy deficit in his early teens. Brilliant but detached. The diagnosis was his sentence to solitary confinement within the family. He was left alone in this big, empty house, a ghost in his own life, until I was deposited on the doorstep. Our mother's gamble to secure her position had failed. She traded her child for a payout and vanished. The staff's attention was sporadic. An infant's cries went from demanding to weak with fatigue. Maybe the noise finally pierced Julian's isolation. A boy who still needed care himself picked up a bottle. He learned to mix formula to change diapers. My first word wasn't mom or dad. It was Juju, a toddler's attempt at his name. Every birthday candle was lit by him. Every fevered night, he was the one by the bed. Graduations, school events, Julian was the only constant presence. Joy, sorrow, trouble, he was my destination. He was the architect of my world. He was my most important person. But I saw him as a brother. His vision for me was something else entirely. When I was small, the house felt cavernous after dark. I'd clutch my pillow and sneak into his room, burrowing under the covers. The habit persisted long after I'd outgrown the fear. I'd let it slip once in front of classmates. The ridicule was instant. You still sleep in your brother's room? What I hadn't admitted was that it wasn't just sharing a room. It was being held. 14, pride won. I demanded my own space. Julian said nothing, simply had a room prepared. That night, I lay awake for hours. Finally drifting off, I woke disoriented and walked on autopilot back to his bed. I just climbed in when an arm pulled me close. I started to struggle. Julian didn't open his eyes, just stilled my movements. A sleep-roughened sigh escaped him. Be still, Eli. Don't fuss. He'd just taken a major role at the company, working punishing hours. The exhaustion in his voice was palpable. In the weak moonlight, I could see the tense line between his brows. Fine. I couldn't disturb him. I settled against his side. Brothers could share a bed. It meant we were close. I convinced myself of that, until a silly, peer pressure-induced love letter fell out of my backpack at his feet. Julian's expression didn't change, but a deep cold settled in his eyes. He read the short note over and over. Elijah, is this what you wanted to show me? It was a catastrophe of timing. I'd been reaching for a report card. The punishment that followed was severe, leaving me raw and weeping. The irrational intensity of his anger was a chilling revelation. That letter was like sodium hitting water. It shattered the surface. The house rules thickened, becoming a tome. Julian's innate need for control began to seep through the cracks. A half-open door late one night. The sound of suppressed, ragged breath. My name, torn from his lips in the dark. Eli. The two syllables felt like a blade drawn over my skin, severing my understanding of our world. In the gloom, Julian's eyes opened. They held a dark, turbulent intensity, the look of a predator zeroing in. I stumbled back a step. It was deliberate. He'd wanted me to hear, to see. My rebellion was born that night. Mishaps, transgressions, dancing on the line of his patience. If I became difficult, problematic, then maybe he wouldn't look at me like that anymore. Caleb's arrival had felt like a pardon. The pain in my backside was a direct link to that past. I slept fitfully, fragments of memory intruding. In the haze between dreams, I felt myself being gathered against a familiar warmth. I stirred, a protest forming. A gentle hand smoothed over my hair. Ashoho, Eli. It's just me. Let me take care of this. That word. Me. It was an anchor and a chain. The familiar scent and solidity pulled me back under. Morning found us at the same table. Julian and Caleb were mirrors of posture, eating with a formal stillness I could never mimic. I shifted, trying to find a position that didn't aggravate the lingering soreness, pushing food around my plate. Julian was speaking quietly with Caleb, the epitome of the attentive, guiding older brother. He glanced at my full plate. "Eat properly. I'll drive you both to campus." Of course. Caleb and I attended the same university. The car barely stopped before I was out, moving fast. Foresight had led me to secure a dorm room. I just walked in when Leo appeared. His face was a portrait of apocalyptic dismay. "Dude, I heard. Is it true? You're like a switched at the hospital situation? This is some daytime TV stuff." News traveled fast. If Leo, whose concerns rarely extended beyond the next party, knew, it was everywhere. I looked at the comforter I was failing to stuff into its cover and gave a grim nod. Leo clutched his chest dramatically. "Bro, don't sweat it. You can crash at my place. My brother can afford another mouth. He's loaded." I shot him a weary look. That sentence alone would put him on Julian's permanent list. I hadn't the heart to tell him his past misfortunes. The revoked CR card, the canceled trip were likely Julian's doing. Leo was my bad influence from my rebellious phase, though his version of trouble was mostly benign hedonism. He was loyal in a simple, unquestioning way. I threw the tangled bedding at him. "Prove it. Fix this." 5 minutes later, Leo was wrestling with the fabric, half-trapped inside it. I was hiding, plain and simple. Turtle in its shell. I went to class, I shot hoops. Life became monotonous. Strangely, Julian seemed to vanish. The constant oversight I'd resented was gone. The silence felt conspicuous. Our last text exchange was 2 weeks old. Leo came to me with gossip, his expression indignant. He'd seen the black sedan with the distinctive plate, Julian's, dropping Caleb off multiple times. "Already? He just replaces you? What an ice cold." I shrugged, channeling the weird emptiness into aggressive play on the court. Leo nudged me, nodding toward the gym entrance. Caleb stood there, looking crisper, more assured than the nervous boy I'd first met. His button-down was pristine. "I don't want my presence to damage your relationship with Julian," he began, voice stiff. "He doesn't say it, but he's concerned about you. I've seen him go into your room late at night. He's under a lot of pressure. I don't want him worrying about us. So you should come home. Stop hiding here." I wiped sweat from my brow. "If you knew what he was doing in my room, you wouldn't suggest that." Caleb turned and left. Another soul captivated by Julian's polished facade. Everyone who met him came away impressed. Everyone except Leo, whose gut instinct had him keeping a wary distance. What was Julian Hawthorne? Composed, intelligent, restrained? That was the tip of the iceberg. The real man existed in the lightless depths below. Old Mr. Hawthorne had built an empire, but his only son was a dissolute failure who'd expired in a luxury hotel suite. The Hawthorne playboy had left no legitimate heirs besides the 2 neglected boys in the townhouse. A testament to poor aim, not precaution. The old man was forced to turn his attention to his discarded grandsons. By then, Julian had molded himself into something formidable. All intellect and ruthless precision. His inherent detachment, masked by that polished exterior, made him the perfect heir. When the brother rises, the sibling gets dragged along. My status as an inconvenient secret was quietly polished into that of a legitimate second son. The old man had few direct descendants, but his brothers had been prolific. The family was full of sharp-eyed cousins who resented our ascent. Trevor was one. He competed with Julian, always falling short. So he lowered his sights and aimed at me. At a family gathering, he accidentally stuck out a foot. My left knee connected with the marble floor with a sickening crack. Pain, white-hot, shot up my leg. Julian emerged from a doorway. His eyes went flat and dark. He didn't speak, didn't rage. He simply lifted me and carried me away. Later, as he applied ointment to the spectacular bruise, his touch was clinical. "I've taught you many things, Eli. I never taught you to accept being someone's punchline." My knee throbbed. I didn't need a lecture. It hurts. Bad enough I got hurt, now I get scolded? Julian pinched my calf, a brief, punitive pressure, and fell silent. I thought the matter was closed. Weeks later, I saw Trevor again. The swagger was gone. He was shrunken, confined to a wheelchair. An accident, people murmured. Looking at the space where his left leg should have been, a cold, phantom ache bloomed in my own perfectly healed knee. I didn't let myself think about it. I kept busy with Leo on the court. He ran around with chaotic energy, never quite touching the ball, panting like an overexcited puppy. I pulled my shirt up to wipe my face. Leo's hand shot out, poking my stomach. Not fair. How do you get definition? I just get out of breath. With your form, you barely break a sweat. I flexed, playing it up, and Leo circled me, genuinely envious. Post-game, the campus gym showers were shut down for repairs. Grimy and uncomfortable, we headed for the nearest decent hotel. Leo went to grab food. I took the key card and went up alone. The door clicked open. The figure on the other side startled me just as much. My heart lurched. Flight instinct screamed. A hand shot out, closing around my wrist, pulling me inside. The door shut with a soft, final sound. Eli. His voice, laced with a familiar, daunting warmth. Don't run. Damp and wrapped in a hotel robe, I was carried from the bathroom like a stubborn, rigid parcel. My face was burning, my thoughts scrambled. Julian's clothes were still on, though now damp in patches. His hair was slightly disheveled. He seemed less perfect, more dangerous. His fingers found the soft skin of my cheek, pinching and teasing, making my lips form shapes. A dazed part of me swatted at his hand, catching one wrist but leaving the other free. The wandering hand found a new destination. I jolted. The fear of being utterly unraveled kicked in. I scrambled up. Okay, I give up. I'll come home tomorrow. Julian's eyebrow arched. His hands didn't stop. Panic rising. Tonight. I'll come back tonight. Satisfaction smoothed his features. He finally relented. Your little hotel excursion is forgiven, then. I pressed my lips together, seething. Julian wrapped his arms around the human burrito he'd made of me and fell back onto the bed. I wriggled, trying to escape the tangle of robe and limbs. The breathing against my neck deepened, grew slower. He'd fallen asleep? Julian was a force of relentless energy. Seeing him like this, dark circles under his eyes, a furrow between his brows, was unusual. He looked genuinely worn down. My attempt to extricate myself slowed, then halted. The man who was supposedly asleep allowed a faint, triumphant curve to touch his lips. An old trick, but effective. My phone buzzed with texts from Leo. What's the room number again? Where'd you go? Did you drown in there? You want this food or not? I typed a reply. Gone. Don't wait up. Seeing me back at the townhouse, Caleb gave a curt, approving nod. Sensible. The kid was trying so hard to emulate Julian, from his speech patterns to his wardrobe. But he lacked the depth, the earned authority. He just looked like a kid playing dress-up. Leo was devastated. Bro, our plans. The legendary nights. I had my brother's CR card primed. I never agreed to any legendary nights. I was back, but Julian was scarcely present. He was buried in work, coming home late, the study light burning into the early hours. I used to hate the quiet enormity of this place. I hated being alone, and I hated the thought of Julian being alone. During his long work sessions, I'd camp out in his study with homework or a game. His presence was my compass. Now, light spilled from the barely cracked door of his study onto the dim hallway floor. That threshold felt impassable. I didn't dare push it open. Old Mr. Hawthorne's 70th birthday gala was imminent. A major production. Caleb's formal debut as a Hawthorne. Leo, my ever-reliable gossip pipeline, had updates. Oh, the old man is pulling out all the stops. Julian never got a showcase like this. Oh right. Not your old man anymore. Or your brother. New bar downtown has a sax player. 6 feet tall. Legendary. You in? I wasn't. My interests didn't include 6-foot-tall saxophones. Leo's curiosities were becoming increasingly eclectic. At the gala, I felt the weight of amused, pitiful glances. No one approached me directly. Not yet. The memory of Julian's quiet retributions was too fresh. Until his stance toward me was clear, no one wanted to be the first to test the waters. The old man was in fine form. He announced Caleb, praised his qualities, hinted broadly at his future potential as a successor. Julian's name wasn't mentioned. The power play was transparent. I watched Julian from across the room. He was immaculate in his tuxedo, the gold glasses a deliberate accent. He looked like he'd stepped from the pages of a luxury magazine. He showed no reaction to the old man's speech. The patriarch was old but clung to power. He wanted a puppet. Julian was no one's puppet. Years ago, he'd tried to feel me out. I'd walked off with 2 expensive paperweights from his desk. He'd never invited me back. Caleb was his new gambit, a tool to use against Julian. My role here was now background extra. Slipping away wouldn't be noticed. I just made it to the terrace doors when a hand closed on the back of my collar. And where do you think you're going? I hunched my shoulders. The stifling in there. Just getting air. My phone was plucked from my pocket. A text from Leo chose that moment to illuminate the screen. Now, you have to see this. A bar address followed. The light glinted coldly on Julian's lenses. I had a sudden, clear premonition. Leo was about to be grounded for the foreseeable future. If you're bored, Eli, you can keep me company. The bathroom stall was not designed for 2 grown men. The air grew thin. I was braced against the wall, unsteady, feeling utterly exposed. Julian, behind me, was the picture of calm control. Frustrated, I threw my head back, aiming for his chin. A low laugh vibrated against me. Not bored anymore, I take it. You're impossible, I hissed. Suddenly, Julian's hand covered my mouth. Listen. Footsteps entered the restroom. Muffled voices, tinged with liquor and malice. Eli Hawthorne, a fake all these years. What a joke. Did you see him tonight? Ghosted. His golden ticket got punched. Without Julian shielding him, he's nothing. Probably begging for scraps from Julian now. Good luck with that. The guy's a sociopath. You know, the kid did grow up pretty. If he gets tossed out, I wouldn't mind. Julian's body went utterly still, a predator catching a scent. If his executive assistant were here, he'd know to brace for impact. Julian's sigh was a rough scrape in the quiet. Eli, they have it all wrong. His lips were close to my ear. It's my life that's held in your hands. For a moment, my own heartbeat was the only sound in the universe. After the gala, Julian disappeared into his work. I saw him briefly days later. He'd removed his glasses, pressing fingers to the bridge of his nose. Stay close to home, Eli. Don't wander. The Hawthorne's internal tremors eventually reached Leo. Dude, the vibe at your place is intense. Look, my door's open. My brother's loaded. We got you. Does your brother know you're offering his bank account as a public service? My routine was sterile, campus, townhouse. The room next to mine remained dark. I sent a text. No reply. The unusual silence bred a low-grade anxiety. Leaving campus, I was intercepted at the townhouse gate. Young man, Mr. Hawthorne Sr. requests your presence. I shifted my backpack. Sure, let me change. I'm a mess. I ducked inside and went straight out the back gate. Julian's phone rang out, over and over. My grip on the device tightened. Something was wrong. The news hit me like a physical blow. Julian.
Car accident.
The world tilted on its axis. My throat constricted. An accident? Or had the old man finally moved? No, Not his own grandson. He wouldn't. The frantic thought was a drumbeat in my skull as I ran. The hospital corridor seemed endless, a tunnel of antiseptic smell and echoing grief. My own fears, my cowardice, my careful distance. It all seemed like a pathetic, meaningless performance. The answer had been written long ago. On a grade school assignment, the person I love most. It was Julian. My hand trembled on the hospital room door handle. I couldn't make myself turn it. Eli. The voice came from behind me. I whirled. He stood there, whole, solid, alive. A sob tore from my chest. I launched myself at him, the force of my impact making him take a step back. I clutched at him, tears and incoherent sounds soaking his shirt. He held me, one hand cradling the back of my head, his lips pressing against my temple. "Shoo, it's all right. I'm here. I'm right here." I ran my hands over his face, his shoulders, checking for injury. He was here. He was real. "Caleb," he said, "you were hurt." Julian smoothed my hair. "Not me. My assistant, Stephen. A fender bender. Minor injuries." My phone died when Caleb called. The message got garbled. I buried my face in the curve of his neck, inhaling the familiar scent of his skin, feeling the steady pulse beneath. The old man sent for me. I ran. Then I heard, "I thought he'd hurt you." A soft chuckle rumbled in his chest. "You think so little of me? That a tired old man could touch me? He's your grandfather. Irrelevant." Julian adjusted his hold, his mouth brushing the reddened corner of my eye. "What matters is you're in my arms. It's been too long since you came to me like this." I looked up at him. My reflection swam in the dark pools of his eyes. He didn't ask for much. Just this. Just everything. My chest ached. I leaned in, my movement clumsy, and pressed my lips to his. "You can have it. Whenever you want." The contact was soft, warm. It felt like coming home, not like crossing a line. The last of the ice in Julian's gaze melted. He cupped my face, his kiss deepening from a touch to a claiming, slow and devastatingly tender. A low, hungry sound escaped him. "Sweetheart, I suppose I owe that old man a debt." We were lost in each other when the door burst open. "Julian, are you?" Caleb froze. His body didn't move, but his expression underwent a seismic shift. Confusion, disbelief, dawning, horrified comprehension. His face cycled through shades of pale and red. He took a clumsy step back, his coordination deserting him. "Sorry. Will you carry on?" The door clicked shut. The next time we met, Caleb looked at me, his face a rigid mask. He struggled, his mouth working silently before he finally forced out a single, strained word. "Eli." It was enough. Later, I found the original DNA report in Julian's desk, dated 4 years prior. He'd known. All along. Julian emerged from the bathroom, a towel slung low on his hips. Water gleamed on the defined planes of his chest. He took the file from my numb fingers. I turned on him. "You knew." He dipped his head, nipping gently at my jaw. "Be specific. Do you mean when I found Caleb? Or when I discovered you and I share no blood?" The question confused me. "Aren't they the same?" He pulled me onto his lap. "I review your full medical reports every year, Eli. Anomalies are noted. Finding Caleb took more effort. Located him about 4 years ago. His foster situation was adequate. I ensured it remained so. When the timing was right, I let the information find my grandfather. The rest unfolded as predicted." I stared, stunned. "For years? And you never said a word?" He caught my fist, bringing my knuckles to his lips. "Tell you? And watch you run from me?" His breath was hot against my skin. "I never raised you to be my brother." I rolled my eyes, the anger simmering. I forced my voice to neutrality. "Fine. Whatever. I'm not upset." I gave him a flat look. "I don't argue with old men." Julian stilled. A rare flicker of uncertainty crossed his face. Old? I made a show of looking him over. Aren't you? There's a 3-generation gap here. I held up 3 fingers. 3. His eyes narrowed dangerously. The cost of momentary triumph is always high. Julian was voracious. Words he'd held back for years poured out, raw and possessive. You are mine, Eli. Every part of you. Later, exhausted and intertwined, I laced my fingers through his. Our foreheads touched. Julian. He made a soft sound of acknowledgement, already half asleep. It's always been you. I wasn't a fool. The old man's eyes were failing him in more ways than one. He didn't see the polite, frozen smiles that greeted his pronouncements about Caleb. No one in that room was eager to bet against Julian. Julian's default setting was antagonist, a master manipulator operating from the shadows. As for Caleb, he was literal-minded. He missed the old man's subtext entirely, moved only by the surface praise. I never believed Julian would be outmaneuvered by a desperate patriarch. The crisis was theater, a blunt instrument aimed with perfect precision at my weakest point. It shattered every defense I had. Did I love Julian? The question felt too small. I couldn't bear his solitude. His pain was my undoing. The idea of anyone else occupying the space beside him was intolerable. He had, through sheer, relentless will, made himself the central fact of my existence. The world had always felt muted to me, as if viewed through a thick pane of glass. Sound and sensation were distant. Then, a piercing cry shattered the silence. It was incessant. The tiny, toothless source of the noise was placed in my care. A bottle silenced the cries, replaced by the greedy, rhythmic sound of feeding. A habit formed. Silence the noise. First with a bottle. Later, the impulse remained. A small, warm hand fisted around my finger. The sensation was minuscule, but it registered. A pinpoint of heat in the gray. After that, the quiet never fully returned. He was a walking cacophony. Hunger was a siren. Satisfaction was a babbling brook. Learning to walk meant thunderous little footsteps. While the world stayed hushed, he was a riot of sound. I rarely dream. When I do, it's the same moment. The front door opens. He's home. He drops his bag, his face an open book, sullen from a loss, bright with a victory, smudged with dirt, flushed with summer heat. And he runs. He always runs. Straight toward me. I open my arms. The impact is solid, real. I fold him into the space meant only for him. This noise, this chaos, this life. It is mine. It is Elijah. The glass is gone.